All right, 3.2, number 14 says, during the Festival de Voyageurs in Winnipeg, Manitoba, teams compete in a snow sculpture competition. Each team begins with a 1,440 cubic foot rectangular prism of snow. The prism has a square cross-section and a height of 10 feet. So square cross-section, if you were to cut that thing, if you were to cut it like this and you were to like kind of pick it up and look at the what you cut there, the cross, that's a cross-section. So it starts with a 1,440 cubic foot rectangular prism of snow. So that's what you start with. Where's my pen? Okay, so a rectangular prism, it has a square cross section. So that means that on the bottom, it's a square. So this is length and length, or side length and side length. And it's a prism, so the top and the bottom are the same. And the volume is 1,440 cubic feet. Okay. So this is some what other? Oh, a height of 10 feet. So the height is 10 feet. So what are its length and width? Yeah, so you have to come up with an equation that connects all these things that are given. So volume is length times height, right? So 1,440 is the volume. And then length you don't know, so you're going to leave the L as the variable, and the height is 10. So divide both sides by 10 to get rid of the 10 over here. And you got 144 is L squared. Now, to get L all by itself, the opposite operation is square root. So what you do to one side, you have to do to both sides. And then you have L now, because the square root and the square cancel each other out. L is 12. So what are the length and the width? Length equals the width because it's a square, and that equals 12 feet.
I think most of us were overthinking this question.
Well, I think most of you looked at the word problem with very few numbers and no formulas given, and you're like freaked out. So don't freak out. Just take a look at each little piece. Yeah, it's easier than it's not a hard question. But you want to pick up things like, 1,400 cubic foot. Okay, so that's a volume, right? It's a rectangular prism. So a prism means that the base and the top are the same. The prism has a square cross section, so you got to know what a square is. And now you know what a cross section is if you didn't know before. So you would literally like take a big knife, right? Big knife here. Big knife. Okay? And you would like cut this thing. And what happens is when you cut it, you get your cross section. So that's a square. Zoom, cut right through. Right? Sometimes cross sections are vertical, right? If you have like in science or something, you have a diagram of a cross section of the human brain or something. It might be a vertical, right? You might have the brain looking like this or whatever, and then you've got all your things. But this is like a slice, right? It's like kind of was three-dimensional, but now they kind of cut it, right? It's a little bit morbid, I guess, example, but if you cut something through, it's a cross section, what you see. Okay. All right. Any other questions about that? 10?